Welcome to the Official Personality Guru. The ENTJ personality is all about meeting challenges. The ENTJ has natural-born confidence and charisma that allows them to move about the world in a way that leads to a lot of success. The ENTJ wants to make things happen, and they will usually figure out enough information to get the result they believe is right. The ENTJ loves being in the mix and being decisive. They usually have large goals and visions that others can't see as clearly as they do. The ENTJ sees where things can go and usually develops a roadmap of steps that need to be completed to get there. They can be flexible, but usually they're pretty steadfast on the result. The ENTJ can seem to be a bit commanding and may be intimidating, but they do not see this as a weakness. The ENTJ believes they can get their way, and usually they can outlast the opposition to make it happen. The ENTJ is also skilled in recognizing the potentials in others, which can help them to develop their sensitivity and people skills. They are strong communicators, but they should always be aware of ways to develop more tact and be less critical of others when they don't live up to their very high expectations. Today, let's talk about ENTJ personality and Enneagram Type 3. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the Official Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. The Enneagram Type 3 is all about achievement and recognition. The Enneagram Type 3 is probably the most driven type. They're all about success and using benchmarks to achieve their goals. The E3 is status, conscious, and will work hard to maintain an image of a winner. Because of this, they can be very hard workers. The Enneagram 3 would do well to figure out what they truly want out of life, instead of just chasing what will give them accolades. Over time, if they are just chasing another arbitrary goal, they may not find it as fulfilling as they hoped. It might feel like it's always on to the next challenge. The Enneagram 3 would benefit from figuring out and reflecting on what brings them the most joy. If the E3 can accept their flaws and become a more well-rounded type that comes from a place of authenticity, they can become a role model for others to follow. They ultimately want to feel valuable to others. And if they can approach this from a place of genuineness, they will be an inspiring voice to others around them. Their achievements will likely inspire awe and motivation in others to go after their goals. Type 3 ENTJs are intensely focused on long-term goals and plans. Like their Type 8 counterparts, this type aims to establish themselves in positions of authority in whichever field of work they pursue. Unlike Type 8, however, the Type 3 ENTJ sees power as an instrument rather than an end in itself. They wish to rise to the top because they are driven by a strong inner compass that tells them their self-worth is dependent upon their accomplishments. This type of ENTJ may be more dependent upon their introverted intuition than their Type 8 counterparts. Rather than consulting an eye solely as a means of manipulating their circumstances, they will consult their auxiliary function as a means of forming long-term plans and optimizing their ideas and plans. For this reason, this type is most similar to the INTJ personality. Type 3 ENTJs are constantly moving towards success. However, success is defined by the culture or society they live in and away from feelings of insignificance and worthlessness. ENTJs who identify as Enneagram 3 are even more driven and ambitious than your typical ENTJ. They are always striving to be the best, and they're even more competitive if that's possible. ENTJ Enneagrams 3s are charming people, and they are so smooth when it comes to social interactions. They're the kind of people who can talk their way into or out of anything. ENTJ Enneagram 3s are quick thinkers, and they're always looking for ways to improve. They're never satisfied with mediocrity, and they push themselves to their limits. At times, they can be quite ruthless in their pursuit of success. They're natural leaders and are often very talented managers. ENTJ Enneagram 3s can find it hard to sit still, which is why they're always on the go. In general, ENTJs are good at reading between the lines. They use this ability to pick up on social dynamics, and they can be very persuasive. In addition, they know how to work a room, and they are highly aware of people's perceptions of them. This means that they can be quite image conscious and concerned about what others think of them. How the 3-wing 4 changes the natural tendencies of an ENTP. 1. Interest in music and arts. ENTPs have a ton of creativity. However, this will be taken to new levels here. The presence of Type 4 as a wing will add an emotional touch to their creativity. Thus, this personality type might be more interested in paintings, music, and the arts. While the idea will be there, it might simply be a hobby or an addition to their impressive CV. 2. More elegant. Just like INTPs, ENTPs do not pay too much attention to their sense of fashion or appearance. However, ENTP 3 wing 4s will be slightly different. Type 3s want to look successful. Type 4 want to look unique. Thus, fashion and how they look overall will be important to them. Just like a 3 wing 4, this personality type will look fashionable and elite. They desire to stand out in their way, and stand out they will. 3. Better follow through. If you're an ENTP, you've probably been called the jack of all trades. This usually comes with the problem of unfinished projects everywhere. ENTP 3 wing 4s will be different. They will focus on fewer projects and will be able to finish them. This personality type understands that to be successful, mastery of a few things is essential. While this is true, this doesn't mean that they won't dabble in other industries and sectors regularly. There are still ENTPs after all. 4. More warmth. While not seen as sensitive as the ENTP 5 wing 4, the ENTP 3 wing 4 has more warmth than your typical ENTP. They are more considerate and diplomatic. While the ENTP 5 wing 4 might be sensitive because they genuinely care, this personality type can use their warmth as a sort of strategy or tactic. ENTP 3 wing 4s are good at what they do. This also includes showing consideration. Everything is timed to perfection. 5. Better work ethic. Work ethic has never come easy to the typical ENTP. They often considered complacent and lazy. ENTPs get a bad rep for everything that involves actual work. Not this ENTP. Because they are type 3s, they always have a project or goal they're working towards. Thus, this type can easily become a workaholic in their quest for success. Because they are so hardworking, it's easy to mistype them as ENTJs. 6. More driven. The influence of type 3 on this ENTP is clear from the very beginning. The first thing you'll notice about this type is that they are quite driven. They have these big goals they want to achieve and strive to do so. ENTP 3 wing 4s can use a plethora of strategies and methods to reach their goal. They do it with a sort of elegance that makes them seem less desperate for success than they are. This trait is one of the reasons why they are probably one of the more successful versions of the ENTP. Weakness of the ENTP 3 wing 4. 1. More self-absorbed or self-centered. One of the main flaws of the type 4 is being self-absorbed. Depending on the strength of their wing, this personality type might have this flaw. They might feel that the world revolves around them and their interests. They might also feel like the world is either with them or against them. This can also make them self-centered. 2. Struggle with identity. Type 4s often struggle with finding their true selves throughout their lives. ENTP 3 wing 4s might also have this problem. It's easy to see why. As earlier stated, they often have a mask on and can lose themselves in the process. ENTP 3 wing 4s will struggle to find out who they truly are among the hundreds of personalities they have created for each situation. How about you, as an ENTJ or any other personality type? What are the information about you that you can share aside from what we have mentioned? Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. 3. Manipulative. ENTP 3 wing 4s usually have a well-developed extroverted feeling or FE function. Thus, they find it easy to read people and situations. With the ability to do this comes the ability to influence people and manipulate them. While this is not often their first line of action, ENTP 3 wing 4s are not above it when the chips are down. However, there is never a time when manipulating people can be seen as good. Before we continue, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. 4. Mask on at all times. ENTPs are often accused of not being their true selves. It's even more evident with the ENTP 3 wing 4s. Type 3 wants to be accepted and seen as successful by others. Thus, this personality type often adapts to the situation they find themselves. This might include saying things they don't believe in or dressing to impress. Regardless of the situation, this ENTP always has a mask on. A fake smile is present and it's hard to catch them off guard.